like a cap over a lamp, in a dove-coloured gown, trimmed with bright-coloured bands on the waist on one side, and on the skirt on the other, was sitting beside Anna. She sat up as straight as possible, and welcomed Alexey Alexandrovitch with a nod and a sarcastic smile. "Ah," she began, affecting surprise, "I'm delighted to meet you at home. You never show yourself anywhere, and I haven't seen you since Anna was taken ill. I learned of your anxiety from others. Indeed, you are a wonderful husband," she said, with a significant and flattering look, as much as to say that she conferred on him the Order of Magnanimity on account of his behaviour toward his wife. Alexey Alexandrovitch bowed coldly, and, kissing his wife's hand, inquired how she was. "Better, I think," she replied, avoiding his look. "However, your face has a feverish look," he said, emphasizing the word feverish. "We have talked too much," said Betsy. "It was selfish on my part, and I am going now." She rose, but Anna, suddenly flushing, seized her quickly by the arm. "No, stay, I beg of you. I must tell you. No, you." She addressed Alexey Alexandrovitch, while the colour increased on her neck and brow. "I cannot, nor do I wish to, hide anything from you," she said. Alexey Alexandrovitch cracked his knuckles and bent his head. "Betsy has told me that Count Vronsky wishes to come to our house and say good-bye before he goes to Tashkend." She did not look at her husband, and she evidently was in haste to get through with it, however hard it might be. "I have said that I could not receive him." "You said, my dear, that it would depend on Alexey Alexandrovitch," corrected Betsy. "Yes. No, I cannot see him. And it would not do any—" She stopped suddenly, and looked inquiringly at her husband's face. He was not looking at her. "In short, I do not wish—" Alexey Alexandrovitch approached, and wanted to take her hand. Anna's first impulse was to withdraw her hand from her husband's clammy hand with its big swollen veins, but she evidently controlled herself and pressed it. "I am very grateful to you for your confidence, but—" he began, then stopped, awkward and annoyed, feeling that what he could easily and clearly decide when by himself, he could not settle in the presence of the Princess Tverskaya, who was the incarnation of that brutal force which he had to take as the guide of his life in the eyes of the world, and obliged him to renounce his feelings of love and forgiveness. He stopped as he looked at the Princess Tverskaya. "Well, good-bye, my treasure," said Betsy, rising. She kissed Anna and went out. Karenin accompanied her. "Alexey Alexandrovitch, I know that you are an extraordinarily magnanimous man," said Betsy, stopping in the midst of the boudoir to press his hand again with unusual fervour. "I am a stranger, and I love her so much, and esteem you so highly, that I take the liberty of giving you a bit of advice. Let him come. Alexey Vronsky is the personification of honour, and he is going to Tashkend." "I thank you for your sympathy and your advice, Princess, but the question whether my wife can or cannot receive anybody is for her to decide." He spoke these words with dignity, raising his eyebrows as usual, but he felt at once that, whatever his words had been, dignity was inconsistent with the situation. The sarcastic and wicked smile with which Betsy greeted his remark proved it beyond a doubt. Chapter 19